Okay, Gemini, let's get it on and pop. And this is going to be your weekly astrological tarot prediction for the week of October 5th to October 11th. So what you can get from this is how your week's going to happen and how you can navigate through it. And again, this is for your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. So if you know those signs as well, check out my other reads so you can get the full scope of what's going to be happening for you, towards you, and working with you and against you during the week. But let's just get it started. So Gemini, the beginning of the week, you have a lot of Four of Pentacles energy, and that Four of Pentacles energy is wanting to keep the things that make you feel secure safe. You're keeping it close to heart, even so much so that you would like turn your back on things that do not support it. So what I'm getting from that is like, you know, people with varying beliefs, like maybe religious beliefs or just belief systems, you are so inquisitive about how you approach things. You're a believer in thinking very deeply. You don't just believe what someone tells you, you deep dive. And so you're like, nah, like you turn your back to it. Even society, like even if you feel like you got to kind of walk a unique path, you will do it, Gemini, because you're like, like something about this is wrong. It don't make me feel good in my spirit and I'm not going to do it. So that's going to happen around Monday. Around Tuesday, this is a new actually occurrence that's going to come up. You're going to get Six of Swords energy. So for the other signs, they've been dealing with quite a bit of mental anguish. But for you, you're actually, it's giving me a little bit of Scorpio energy. And there's quite a few signs in Scorpio, or not signs, but quite a few planets in Scorpio this week of October 5th. So what it's giving me is that you're actually able to see how the things that have plagued you in the past have been leading you forward. Meaning, when you learn a lesson in life, you're going to learn it one or two ways. You're going to learn it the easy way, or you're going to learn it the hard way. If you have to be one of those people who learn a lesson the hard way, it's going to feel horrible. If you're one of those people who learn a lesson the easy way, it's like you paid attention and you took action. But you, Gemini, are coming from like a merger in between the two. You're allowing things to happen, but you're actually observing it. You're very inquisitive about, this is what happens. Like, you know exactly why. If you're feeling any type of mental anguish this week, particularly around the Tuesday period, you know exactly why. You don't actually have to question. You know exactly why, because you naturally have that foresight. On Thursday, Sun in reverse. So this is coming up for Capricorn. I believe it's coming up for Taurus. There's some energy that's happening on Thursday that's going to give a little bit of rejuvenation. But what it is for you in this week is you finally realize that, like, there's things that are holding me back, things that are no longer serving my greatest purpose. And internally, you're just like, nah, I'm not going to deal with that no more. I don't want that any longer. And I'm going to do whatever I need to do in order to change that. So Thursday is going to come with the reflection and the realization that, like, this thing that I'm turning my back on was not for my greatest good. And this is coming off to me like toxic behavior, the Six of Swords. And you recognize the reason why I can't continue to do it is because it was toxic behavior. And it's like this feeling of making peace, but not really. Like, you didn't make peace, but it's like you had an aha moment. Like, yes, I had to turn my back because this thing is a feeling of toxic behavior. And that's really what's going to kind of, you're going to spend Tuesday feeling that and like really analyzing that. And if you want to focus on other things, it might be a little bit difficult to focus on other things because that's going to be top of mind. And then around that Thursday time, you're going to get to a place where it's like, I really want to shine. I really want to be myself. And I do not believe that I can be myself if I'm still in this same kind of either group of people, role, belief system. Something's going to change. And then on Friday, you have the Eight of Wands. This is the theme that is coming across all of our signs this week. This is really important. The Eight of Wands. This is the universe teaching a universal lesson to everyone. And that universal lesson is you can work with the energy or you can work against the energy. And this is kind of like a little piece of the magician showing up in life. Why? Because if you go up a stream, you have to use all this energy. It's so much work. You know, it feels worse. But if you go downstream with the current, it's like, it's effortless. You don't have to do anything. And so the universe is specifically saying for October 5th to October 11th, this is around the 9th, 10th, 11th part, that weekend part, that you are given the powerful choice of, do you want to use the energy for you or against you? Because using the energy against you is still making these poor choices, like not listening to the fact that you feel like not protected by whatever this thing is, feeling like something is off, feeling like, no, like this is not good. But you have enough understanding of the world, understanding of life in general, to be able to look at this Eight of Wands and say, you know what? I'm gonna work with the universe. So it's just telling you, you're gonna receive a knowledge to work with the universe, and it's really up to you by the end of the week if you are going to take that action and to kind of actually make it happen and flow with the current. So also at the beginning of the week, you're going to get this Fifth of Wands energy. And so this Fifth of Wands energy is feeling like you're kind of being pulled in multiple directions. You're trying to, as you internally feel like, no, I'm not putting up with whatever that is, for you to break free, it feels like you're scratching to get away. You're like Gemini, you're trying to get away. You don't want to do it. It's like actions, mental anguish. You might even come up with some type of excuse not to do it anymore, because the reason why is like, it doesn't protect you. It doesn't make you feel secure. Like you're like, nah, this is not good for my spirit. I can't do this. So that's actually going to be happening on Monday. You're going to come up with this realization. And then on Tuesday, these two, the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Swords, are indicating a path. If you see here, the crows are leading forward. They're leading forward, and you're realizing, okay, this is toxic behavior. And you're coming at it from both perspectives. I was like, hey, I can see the universal lesson, but I also realize this is toxic behavior, and I don't like this anymore. And the Knight of Pentacles, this is this Tuesday stuff, comes from a bigger macro view perspective of, it's asking you a question. What do you want from life? What do you want from life? How do you want life to be? What do you want to put in place? What is your empire? What are the things that are important to you? So you're realizing how you're just kind of coasting through life with this toxic energy, but you actually can co-create the life you want. And you realize that with this path, you're not going in the direction that you want to, but you're being given the opportunity to think about what really matters to you on that Tuesday. And then by Thursday, again, High Priestess energy. So sometimes this comes off to me a little bit like an initiation or like spirit guide. So you're probably going to receive a message via a vision, intuition, just like you hear something, smell, like very clairvoyant, clairsentient, or whatever. On Thursday, something is happening for the collective across all signs on Thursday where things start to align. And you're going to receive that message through your higher self. It's giving me a lot of crown chakra energy. So I would encourage you specifically, Gemini, to meditate on the things that are happening, because I think that's where you're going to receive that knowledge, particularly on Thursday. So if you don't have a meditation practice, you can definitely like Google and YouTube and listen to stuff. But like, yes, Thursday, most importantly, you need to meditate. And then on Friday, you're going to have the Ace of Wands, which something new is going to pop up. So this thing you're leaving, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you got to stick with it. And I don't even get that energy that you feel like you have to stick with it. But just know, come Friday, you're going to start to feel like there's this new spark within you. And it's going to come from your message that you receive from your spirit guides. Now, the Fool is how you really go and merge what's coming on in the beginning of the week. You don't have a plan. And sometimes, Gemini, that works out for you, and sometimes it doesn't. It's okay that you don't have to have a plan, with how you're going to change things. What's enough for you is the fact that it no longer serves you. That's enough for you, and you make peace with that. Like, you, not just, hey, you need to make peace with this, but really, you make peace with that. Like, you've made peace with the fact that it's like, you know what? Hey, I got to just put myself out there. This is no longer working for me. I don't want to do it. It doesn't make sense. And then the Six of Cups, which also came up in this Virgo reading. And what happens between you and Virgo? Y'all both are ruled by Mercury. Mercury is a sign of like, it's the sign of communication. But the Gemini is very critical on their thoughts. And the Virgo is very critical on their habits, the things that they've done, these patterns that they put into motion. So, it really has to do with a loved one. something about all of these things that you've endured, has to do with a loved one. So I'm getting this energy of going against the family. It could be a pet, wanting to get a pet, but really something that is so close to your heart, and realizing that you have to turn your back on it because it's no longer working for you. And then finally, the Hierophant. The Hierophant has been showing up at the end of the week for a lot of signs. And the reason why the Hierophant is showing up is because it's teaching us, or giving us this insight of the Eight of Wands, like, ha, 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 the joke's on you. If you make it harder on yourself, you're going to get there. If you make it easier on yourself, you're going to get there. Why not just make it easier on yourself? So Gemini, this is your weekly reading. You see how it's starting from the beginning and getting to the end. Very interesting transformation. Again, most important part, you're having some realization on Monday, get to some meditation on Thursday, and by the weekend, things are going to come out, and make that choice. Do you want to work for yourself, or you want to work against yourself? Again, this is for sun, moon, or rising sign. I also do all the other signs as well as the elements too, so you can check those out weekly.